Have you signed it?
Your signing is going to be in Asoro.
He will take over from now to speak and address us accordingly. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's, as the white man would say, a very momentous moment. I'm happy to be back home. That's very important. And to see your faces, very old ones and new ones. I didn't have an idea that I would be away from home for over 9 years. And my plans was from there I'll move on to somewhere. But that's my plans. But God has his own plans, and everything that happens in life is ordered by him. So I respect that all the time. And I don't push unnecessarily too hard. So I want to use this opportunity to thank my senior brother, my uncle, JG. Just as he rightly said, for purpose of history, and we will try and write that history, because part of our major challenge in this country is that we don't keep history. And somebody with a twisted mind will come and give a new history. And that is what people will believe. But I can assure you, by the time we came here, there were literally 4 staff in ICT, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Essay, Professor Adoni, Mr. Alassan, and Mrs. Fregene. Those were the 4 staff of ICT. Whatever name it was called then, we have computer center, we have MIS. There was nothing like ICT. So we must keep that history, because there are generations that came after. So just as we did for the computers that we teach in CS 101 or introductory computer, we'll create the generations of ICT directorate. So that we know them and characterize them by their functions. I'm also happy that I was in the operating room when ICT directorate was born. I was clearly the deputy surgeon that ensured the merger of all units that form what ICT is today. There was computer center, there was MIS, and there was UJNet, and some functions in the library. So it tells you that I know the history. However, for the past 9 years, I wasn't part of the story. So I wouldn't want to lie that I know everything that happened the past 9 years. But at least I have a fair knowledge. So I find myself today here as a privilege, not a right. It's a privilege that God has granted, and I want to use that opportunity of the privilege to fulfill the mandate of that privilege. I remember how we struggled to keep ICT growing and going against all odds. And I believe the struggle has not ended. But the struggle can only be won if we all agree to work as a team. Let me tell you something which I was told the management team the last time we met, that if we succeed, if my tenure succeeds, that is when there is a possibility of another substantive director. But if my tenure fails, we will go back to the old order of acting director, and we don't know when it will end. And that success is highly dependent on all of us, not myself. I'm only taking over as a captain. And you know, when you fly or when you are in a train, I only do and ensure that we move in the right direction. But the people who ensure that the train is moving are the other support staff within the train or the plane. Even the ordinary hostess you see giving you coffee in a plane is very, very important and very vital to that flight. Without it, the flight will not take off. So if you understand that basis, that's why I said, before we get to business, let us see ourselves. We will see ourselves now. Just to introduce ourselves, I introduce myself. Some faces, I know some faces, it will take me some days to learn the faces. But I'm quite sure that my storage device is still halfway, it has no full. So I can still store the pictures. I can still process the faces and store them. In that regard, I want to solicit, just as we have provided support to all the people that have headed this unit, I want to seek your kind support. I will, in the best of my ability, be fair to everyone. But one thing with me is that we can go to the roof, but I want you not to take anything personal with me, because I will fight you based on the basis of work, but nothing personal. Which means you have not done well, and this is my opinion of it. But you can be sure I will not take any personal grudge against whatever happened in the office. It will be official and it will end in the office. I'm quite sure those that have stayed with me, we have, even though I don't drink beer, but we have gone to the beer parlor with them after our fight in the office. I think there were 2 people who were fighting bitterly. Those ones they fight every day, but they always go and drink beer after work. So I have to ask them.
Take note.
I have to trust them and ask them. I say, what is really the problem? You people are fighting every day, but at close of work, I see you people in the other corner together. You understand? But that is how they have been working, and I didn't have a problem with them. So when I understood, I never got to intervene again in their quarrel. Because they have a way of settling it. So please, if you want to work in the community, and I have said this, not here but in Lafayette, that if you compute your years, you will find out that your workplace you spend more time, except when you retire. And ordinarily when you retire, how many years is left? We don't know. But no, but that is the truth. Because even, let me tell you, even the pension you are contributing is computed that you should die at the age of 75. That is what they have computed. So if you graduate, for him he has now retired at 60. His pension is going to be divided by 15. The balance of the money in the account will be divided by 15 years.
That's true.
And then by 12. Then that is the amount of money he will get monthly. So the assumption of government is that by 75 you should check out. You are now on your own. They will give you the initial percentage and the balance they divide it by 15. That is the law until it changes. So you can even see. Government is saying check out by 1575. They don't want to see you. So if that is the case, we don't have reason to bear grudges. And if you don't bear grudge, you can work with anybody anytime. What is important that brought us here is work. Then also work as a family, because you spend more time here. 8 hours you spend here. When I go home, maybe it's 3 hours. We discuss. At the point I say I'm tired, I'll go to bed. The next morning, everybody is rushing to come out. So you find out that you don't spend much with your family, but you spend more time with your colleague. Solid 8 hours, literally. Whether you're at work or you're in a meeting, whatever it is, but solid 8 hours you are with your colleagues. So you need to create a bond, you need to generate a bond. So please, I will seek and plead for your indulgence that let's work as a family. If there are previous grudges, drop them. It actually darkens and weakens you as a person when you are bearing grudge against anybody. Yes, plan and do, yes, you may succeed in injuring the person, but still, it does not pay off or does not give you anything new. But rather when you are open-minded, and I thank Mr. Bogimia with the slogan from Cisco, minds wide open. Keep your mind open, wide open. Accommodate everybody. The world is so short that you would not need to bear any grudge. So I seek your kind indulgence. I will, in the coming days, I will unveil my thinking, because I want us to agree that that is how we want to move ICT together. I will unveil this in a, it may not be in a group like this, but we will do it in the cells that we are already existing. We will do that so that we see the vision together. I want you, it's my thoughts, but I want you also to buy into it and also contribute to it, so that we now have a vision that we will use to drive the ICT directory. A vision that whenever you are passing, not me, but whenever you are passing, they'll say, well, ICT, well done. Rather than ICT, okay, please wait. They don't want to listen to us. But I want them to listen to us. I want them to see us in their faces every day. But I know that regardless of that, there are people who will never appreciate us, because it's a thankless job. But let us do our job. So in the coming days, I will unveil that vision so that we can all make it our vision. For now, it is mine, but I'm going to put it on the table so that we all discuss it, amend it, and make it our vision. If we all accept it as our vision, then I don't see any reason why we will not all drive it together. We will drive it together. That will be our guide. And that will also be our code of conduct. Anything outside that, then you know you are running foul. And then sanctions will be applied. So, as he said, the principle of carrot and stick will also apply. When you are doing well, you will enjoy the fruits of the land. You will eat the carrots. If you are not doing well, you will not enjoy the fruits of the land, and the stick will be applied. Please, there will be no favoritism. And thank God, I will not, what did they say in English? Sacrifice. Trying to remember the word. Please, there is no need for that. Whatever it is yours, legally you will get it, without doing anything extra. You don't even need to go through anybody. Every staff here has the right to see the director. But if it is official, you have a head, you go through him. But if it is personal, you can still come to me, because it's a personal thing. If you feel you can't discuss that with your immediate boss, you can discuss it with me. You have the right to come directly to me. You can have right to suggest with me, but does not mean I may take it. I may have to run it again through your head. If possibly you feel your head is not listening to what you are saying. What I'm saying is so that we don't run away from our heads, which means we have to form relationships, even at that level. Are we together? Yes, sir. So I think that's basically what I would say. In conclusion, again, I will reiterate. Thank you, Mr. Alassane, for holding forth. Thank you, the management. I think when I reported the first time to discuss with them, I stayed away for almost 2 months. So they were holding forth. And I was jokingly telling Mr. Alassane that when he was handing over, the gray hair was much more than this. But it seems as if after he went back, some of the gray hairs turned black. So it tells you that the ICT burden has been removed. So I have also counted my gray hair this morning. Just to be sure, so that I will, I will know whether I'm making progress. So thank you very much for coming. I want to plead with us. Time is important. Please, let us be coming for meetings and office work on time. I have one principle that I will say here. If you work so hard, I can actually give you off on my own. But if you don't work hard, you know you can keep working. But if you come early, we can do our work on time and finish on time. You find out that when you come early, you can do a lot of things before people come to disturb you. So that's why you should come early. But when you are supposed to be here by 8 and you come by 9, and customers are waiting for you, then automatically there are other things you need to do and you can't do them. So coming on time is very important for our work and our meetings. Very, very important. I would also try. I'm not an early person, but I'm a late person. That means I can come 9 and work till 10 if it's possible. But I will also make sure that if there's an obligation to meet up to, I will be there on time. So let's make time an essential thing. We will also run a lot of sessions in terms of this outside ICT, how we relate, how we will get our vision to work. These are sessions, coaching sessions we do. I will in the process, don't see me very close to somebody and think I like that person more. Somebody, I used to have mentees. I used to have them. One of them is here. I remember Geraldine. I remember Umbox. I remember Cletus. I remember GT. Those are my mentees. So you see them close. I know I have received bashing because of them. So I'll be ready to receive bashing from people who want to learn. You know, there are different things from work and those that want to be disciples. You understand? So if you want to be a disciple, you are welcome. If everybody becomes my disciple, then the more, the merrier and the better for me. Thank you very much for listening to me. We will take this opportunity to call on the different heads of units to stand up, introduce themselves, and then ask their team to introduce themselves. I think that's what we do. If we do that introduction, if there is any comments, either from the heads or from the general staff, please don't hesitate to say one or two things that you feel you want to say today. Thank you very much. So we start from, which one is the first letter? Admin. Admin. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Bako Manomet Adnot. I'm the admin officer, President of Admin and Operation. Thank you very much.
So where are your team? Ask yourself to stand up.
All staff in admin should stand up.
Let them say their
Their
name and their rank.
My name is Musa Sanusi Shehu. That's one house. Musa Sanusi Shehu, Senior Executive Officer.
My name is Rebecca
Abuja.
Unijos.
I'm coming. Computer operators, are they staff of admin?
Yes.
We need to convert them.
That's one of the one.
We need to convert them to ICT.
Number one.
One house, please. Let's have one house.
Joshua, Senior Clerical Officer. Emmanuel Dandamji, Senior Transport Supervisor. William Ali, Officer Assistant.
Jessica, my friend was in Pt2.
What is it?
Higher Executive Officer. My name is Jume Esther Jacobson. Office Assistant 3.
Thank you. The next letter is what?
CIS.
CIS.
If you're in CIS, let's start from so we start from you, then I conclude. Let's take it from the back.
Sorry, can you sit down so that I'll see that last man? Okay.
Don't worry, this is Mehdi Omwaina, System Security Administrator too.
Salaman Ibrahim.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ishaya Manuel, system engineer.
Yes, stand up now.
Salaman Ibrahim Idris. Rahman. Mohammed Ahmed Gaji, senior programmer.
Samuel Apu, principal programmer.
You can see this is the biggest department with the smallest number of students. I'm privileged to head the department, and my name is Gabriel Amodega, the deputy director.
Yes. Please, what is EMS? Because I'm new to
Engineering and Maintenance Services. EMS, please.
So let's start from the front so that you'll be sitting, and then we'll go back. Instead of the other way.
My name is Sunday Donchak, Assistant Deputy Director.
Okay, chop.
Okay.
Let's continue when you come to
Let me go back. Say one talk.
My name is Samuel Benjamin Dapre, principal system engineer.
I am Emmanuel Daniel Maxwell, senior system engineer. I'm so happy to greet Nobel Kakan, senior system engineer. Welcome, sir.
I'm Daron Sadi Ulegi, senior system engineer.
My name is Shibnan Mazak, accurate technician.
My name is Blessing Dentawe India, hardware technician.
I want you.
I'm Mr. Chengdi Nempo, principal system engineer and cameraman for the
Channel Television. I see.
So you want us to give you an official appointment?
Well, Director, you can see the EMS as the core of the computer. And that's the number, and by the time the processors are running out, you can be sure the whole system will be grinding to a halt. I am John Paddock, the head of EMS. Thank you.
ITS.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. ITS staff. But sir, I think I'd like a request. I need to make a request. Because I have some people that serve us. Without them, we can't make up complete ITS. So I have people like Engineer Cheng, Sonny, Sati. I want you to join us.
So they are adjoined to ITS.
Yes, sir.
The ad hoc staff. No, not ad hoc. Adjoined. Not ad hoc. Adjoined.
So can we start from Oche? Okay. Sonny has already introduced himself.
Yeah, so you can see. Who is the other person that I've not introduced? That's adjoined. Cheng, okay, for it. So the new ones come.
Cheng.
My name is Network Administrator.
Pick at home, support analyst.
Ronan Adeyemi, Principal Network Administrator.
Dapel Sati, Assistant Acting Director Networks, and Certified Cisco Instructor.
I'm first class rep computer science student.
Thank you, sir. I am Joel Mwabwin, head of ITS Deputy Director. Permit me to add another word, sir. In ITS, we are proud to have you back. for one major reason. This year, on 26th of last month,